Hello students, welcome to the class. Today's topic is ethical issues. Ethical issues occur when a given decision, scenario or activity creates a conflict with the society's moral principles. So let's see what are all the ethical issues involved in information technology. So we know this information technology has so many ethical issues. The common ethical issues are intellectual property rights, under which we are going to learn digital property rights, then plagiarism. Intellectual property is a property created by a person or group of persons using their own intellect for ultimate use in commerce and which is already not available in the public domain. So examples are inventions, new inventions, literacy and artistic works, designs, symbols, names and images used in commerce. So you can see the product names or the company names, their logos, okay, and any artistic design, new inventions. So these are all called intellectual properties, right? So we have intellectual property right. So this is the legal right given to protect the creator's intellectual property. Okay, so this is a statutory right granted by the government to the owners of the intellectual property or applicants of an intellectual property to exclude others from exploiting the IP commercially for a given period of time in lieu of the disclosure of his or her IP in an IPR application. So this is the legal rights given by the government to the creator of the intellectual property, right? So in terms of information, the creator of the information is the real owner of the information, right? And the owner has every right to protect his or her intellectual property. To protect one's intellectual property, one can get information copyrighted or patented or use trademarks. So the ethical issues involved with this, the information is that the information must not be exchanged without the consent of its owner. So we have different kinds of IP. One is patent, trademark, design, geographical indication and copyright. So patent is to protect the technology based innovations, and trademark to protect words, signs, logos and labels. Design to protect outer ornamental configuration. Geographical indication GI to protect region specific products. Copyright to protect literacy and artistic work. So why this IP must be protected? So to encourage individuals and businesses to develop new products, okay, and to ensure new ideas and technologies are widely distributed. To promote investment, that is IP owner can sell his product, can sell his property for the commercial gains. So in this way we can improve our economy. Next one is digital property rights. Information about you are created by you that exist in the digital form, either online or an electronic storage device. So if you store information in a computer, CDs, okay, or if you are storing anything online, that is called digital property rights, digital properties basically. So digital properties can also be called as digital estate. Examples of these digital properties are online personal accounts, email accounts, gaming accounts, social media accounts, and then photos and video sharing accounts, website and blogs you are managing, then the software codes you are creating, right? So trademarks, all these are examples of digital property. Legally, a person who has created it or the owner who has got it developed by paying legally is the legal owner of the digital property. Only the owner can use and decide who or in what form can his or her digital asset may be used by others, whether by making payments or by buying it or by obtaining its license or usage rights. But this is not the case generally. There are many threats to digital properties. The first one is digital software penetration tool. So there are so many software tools like cracks and then keychains. They are created by the hackers and they crack the software's original registration system. So to use the license to software, we need the access key or product key. So these software, these crackers used to crack this activation code and sell them and give the software for the free use, right? So this is the threat to the digital property. Stealing and plagiarizing codes of your digital property. So someone can crack the source code, can see the source code and they can make use of the source code for their development. So this is also a threat to digital property. So digital property rights protection. So how we can protect our digital property? The first one is we can use anti-tamper solutions. So there are technologies, advanced technologies to prevent the hackers from hacking. Okay, so we can use such anti-tamper solutions, or we can use legal clauses. Add legal clauses in the class of your use of your digital property. So we can make terms of service and we can write our extra class over there. Limit the sharing of software code. So we cannot share the source code unless we know the person, unless we know the trusted individuals. Okay, so these are all the way we can protect the digital property. The next topic is plagiarism. The word plagiarism is derived from the Latin word plagiate, which means to kidnap or abduct. So stealing someone else's intellectual work and representing it as your own work without citing the source of information is called plagiarism. The following are some examples of plagiarism: using some other author's work without giving credit to the author, using someone else's work in incorrect form than intended originally by the creator, modifying someone's production without attributing it to the creator, wrongful citation, failure in giving credit in a collaborative effort to which you are also a part of. So these are all examples of plagiarism. There are two types of plagiarism. One is intentional, the next one is unintentional. In intentional, the examples are copying others' work, borrowing or buying assignments, cut paste from electronic resources, downloading essays or text from internet. Unintentional plagiarism, not knowing how to acknowledge or incorporate sources of information, or carelessly copying and pasting information from electronic resources, quoting excessively, failure to use your own voice. So these are all the unintentional plagiarism. How to avoid plagiarism? We have to give credit to the author. So wherever you are sourcing information, we have to give credit to the author. Cite the resources. But if you are getting information from the website, you have to include the website name. Or if you are getting picture from some other website, you have to write the source from where you are getting this information. And rewrite the ideas in your own way. So this is the best way to avoid the plagiarism. So plagiarism is an offense. So since the intellectual property holds a legal entity status, violating its owner's right is legally punishable offense. So that's all about today's topic. So we have learnt about intellectual property right, digital property right, then plagiarism. So it's time for quiz. You can visit www.kahoot.it. You can use the game pin to enter the quiz, or you can click the link which I have enclosed in the description box. There is a small quiz. You can use it to assess your knowledge. Thank you.